Hello, 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 divine ones. Welcome. Today, the guides are going to be bringing through a pretty big message and an energy transmission. And this is in response to two viewers that asked the guides to bring through a message about healing and pain. So, Rachel, thank you so much for your request. And the guides are going to bring through a message about healing today. And they're also going to bring through a healing session, an energy transmission and healing session. They're going to bring this through as well today. And in addition to this, Barb asked for a transmission or a message about pain. And specifically, she asked for headaches, tooth pain, or pain in general. And the guides are going to talk about pain today. They're going to bring through an energy transmission. They're going to talk about healing today. And they're going to bring through an energy transmission for this. And in addition to this, this is too early for me to start stumbling on my words. In addition to this, they're also going to be bringing through some additional messages about death and end of life, and about Diane, the ego death, and the physical death that will be tied into the ideas of pain and healing. So when they started to bring through this transmission to me, I resisted it a little bit because it's a lot of information that might be triggering for some people, because they are going to talk about what we would call like hard topics to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about death, or next to nobody wants to talk about death and dying, end of life. They're talking about ego death and how these are tied together, and then mixing it all into the viewers' questions about pain, about healing, what healing means, and more. So much more. And if you've been here before, you know there'll be some surprises. So if you're open to this message from the guides today, please find a comfortable position and we'll begin. And as always, the guides like to meet you and greet you and harmonize energy with you. They're overjoyed. So ecstatic. And particularly since it's been 2 weeks, since I've done a message with you in this way, they're bursting at the seams. And they're so ecstatic to be able to connect with you. So today they're bringing in new guides. This is a surprise to me. Yes, it's okay. This is like a homecoming. And they wish to hug. If you like to hug them, you can hug them back or connect with them in any way that feels authentic for you. And dear ones, today we are going to discuss some hard topics. What makes them hard? The mind and the thoughts, which elicits an emotion. These topics are not hard inherently. They are neither hard nor soft, good nor bad. Only thinking makes it so. But we know that the personality self, the small self, doesn't like to think about its diminishment. Doesn't like to think about pain, doesn't like to think about challenges or death. And so in this way, it makes it ruffled feathers may be hard to hear. Still, we bring it as it has been requested, as so it is done. Because we what they're saying is live to. So I was questioning it. Because my idea of what living means made me question what they were saying to me. Now they're telling me it's my concepts that interfere. They live to do this. No, they don't live in the conventional way that you think, but it is their extreme joy, their extreme privilege, and their what you could say purpose, and they like to say mission, to share with you, to share energy, to create connection, to remind you that you are always connected and never have been alone, never have been not connected to all. It is only the thinking mind, the thoughts, the rat wheel, the spinning hamster on the wheel, that candle burning at both ends, that keeps you from knowing the truth of who you are and your connection to all. So if you say yes, we say yes, and we harmonize energy with you now. And they're bringing in new energy guides. So I'm saying they're new, but they're not new. To me, so how I'm experiencing this, and I'm just going to share it with you because this is a surprise for me, is they're bringing in new guides, and so I'm like, ask like who are the new guides, right? And then without words, they tell me. That's the best way I can tell you, and it's no words. It's a feeling that I know them, like I know them. So it's like a homecoming for me. So I asked them if they'll always be here, and they say, well, it depends what you mean. Here is, but we are always where you are because we are never separate. But the guides say now, they'll be bringing in what we would call a guest star, and they're showing me like from my time of the Muppet Show when you would bring in a very special guest star. They're bringing in very special guest stars today. See, we say the word stars to support this message. This is why they are here today. As we wish, as we need, and as we are able, we will bring through or bring forth different energy, what we would call beings or guides, to support whatever messages they bring. And today's message, they're bringing in extra for support. And they're so loving. And we're going to harmonize energy with you now. So you set your intention, or you say yes to create this connection for the greatest good of all, so that this, without exception, so that this message can be known by you. When we say known by you, you might think of you being the personality self, but we say known by you, the truth of who you are. It is the song, it is the echo that plays in the background that reminds you that you are one with it. So if you say yes, let us remember that we are one. So we were going to say, let us be one, but we already are one. So let us remember this with your intention, your willingness. So it is. We harmonize. su ha po ha su. Nitkyo motashia. Wate a suitia wa. Smakate ishi a wa to kunamai. Yiktai shoya mukwai. Sai kwai. Hayasukai matai shiawai. Shai. Akia pukutushi akwata sienai taikono torobakati si awa. He sokorote akwarase ata seneka. They're doing a bit of a clearing now. He sokora pata sarakara heart clearing. Atikana saka heart chakra. Anisiotara koroso the things that are heavy on your heart now. Inisiotara makarasa karasa. Some of you would say the weight of the world on your shoulders. Some of you would say inikorosote shikarasa heavy on your mind. Inisiotara shkoroso we would say heavy on your heart. Let's lighten up. Light. Because this is what you are, light. Ashi awakata sakurebekete teke sorobakata sakarabata kurchia. Sikototokia bakata sokorasakata saklearing. Anikototokeriketa tetikarukuto sakrakaliti po. Prachimoa takitishi ala twai. Alkota saburuki si sai kawaya taishnia wakai kai sai hai. Okay. Let's see here where the guides are going to go. Kia maya tai koroso ewe na sanai kia torokoso ai kanai saisho. Why anai so taya wako ai so ai kai. Okay, anasai tashikaro. Okay. Ine karasakaraso, dear ones, anisia takaraso tojame karasatata sikara. They say they have to put my heart and mind at ease. Ine karasote shina karasata sikara for this message. Inisiota karasayata sakarasa because they wish to talk about what healing is. Inisakaraso because everybody throws around the word healing and says things like, I'm a healer. And they wish to talk about this today. What is the healer? There is only one healer. And and this energy of healing may flow through many expressions, not just what you would call a human expression. Healing energy can take many forms, plants and animals, and no forms. They can be formless. Energy is energy. It doesn't necessarily need to take a form. It takes a form for you. This is the agreement that you have to a material plane, to being manifest in a human form at this time. Therefore, because of this, you experience forms. You might say that this tree is a healing tree. You might say that this person is a healing person. The tree on its own isn't the healing. And the person on its own isn't the healing. And we know that this may ruffle feathers, rub some the wrong way. Those that wish to say, I am a healer, I am the healer. And they say, well, this is a to say that I am the healer, a healer, is to use a personality or a small self or an ego identification, identifying through the lens of the identity. You may do as you wish. You can use whatever labels you like to identify yourself. But please understand, the healer is I am. Without the need to say, I am a healer, I am a this, I am a that. And it's like we understand that you use these labels as ways of identifying yourself, but it is like a slippery slope because one day you say so I am the healer, and then the ego likes this very much and begins to become attached to I am this. And it could be anything, but today we are saying healer because it falls in line with our message. Because the healer is one. One, and it's done. And it has never not been done. But the small self, it thinks it's being done by its hands. And in the same way, we could say that Diane might think that she is bringing through these messages. That she is the one that is a channeler. Because she would use this label. Psychic. Medium channeler. And she may use them all she likes. But in the realization of I am, these labels are not necessary. However, she may use them or utilize them as ways of communication to navigate the agreed upon shared reality. But she must be careful that her ego doesn't get in the way because they're telling me and they're telling me, like, if it does, they'll remind me, but also I know because they will remind me because they have. If I worry about the content of the video, they'll tell me it's not yours. It's not my video. You are the pipe. You are the channel. You just are. In the stepping back and just saying I am and I am willing, then the information flows through. In the same way as healing energy may come through. Who is responsible for your healing? You. Who is responsible for they were going to say Joe's healing, but now they're going to use a viewer response. If someone is to say, I watched this transmission, heard it, and I received so much healing. Onisia makarasa, and you may thank me or thank the guides. Inisia makarase chikarasa, and while we appreciate it, anasia rokosa, we didn't do anything. Anasakarasa, it was all you. Anasia tayanasikarasa, yes, it really was. Anisikara, it was all you. Anasia kana tayasanokoroso etasikara. And so while we appreciate, your gratitude, Anisia karasa, gratitude is a wonderful energy, a wonderful frequency, a wonderful currency, they're saying, to have, to share, to spend, to receive. But like with any currency, we must be mindful because maybe we want more. So they're talking about me. So maybe if somebody says thank you to me, then I'm like looking for a thank you. Or I want more of a thank you is what they're saying. Which is not the case, but like they're using me as an example, and they're using this as an example that's relatable for you. That I might be attached to that. And then if someone says, hey, I think you're crazy, I already know that. If someone says to me, oh, hey, I think you're crazy, then I might be sad because I'm so attached to receiving something that is, hey, Ana Sakurasa, I really appreciate what you're doing, or I like what you're doing, or what you're doing helped me, right? So they say, not to be attached to that, and that you are the healer yourself. We do nothing in and of ourselves. We do it as one. That is it. One is the healer. Let's talk about what healing means. We say, like how people would say sorry, not sorry. We say sorry, not sorry. Because those that feel offended when we say, you may say that you're a healer, but you are also not a healer, and you're not responsible for anyone else's healing. And at the same time, you are a healer, but the you that is a healer doesn't need the label. But you can use it as you wish. We'll cycle back to this. Healing. What does this mean? Dear ones, please do not get confused between healing and cure. These things are different. Healing, we're going to use the word peace. We are going to use the words transmute, transform, and realization. This is what is healing. Sia takarote meana tasara karatikia makia sokara 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 sakarate sinata sarakara sakara. They're telling me to move out of the way. In a loving way. Anatikurumea tasanakira watakarasai atakarasata tasikara. They asked me to take a back seat. Because we wish to say this, and it is of the utmost importance. Because healing and cure are very different. Let's talk about this. There are many cures to many things. And you may get to cure through healing. But now let's take the word cure and put it on a shelf. Put a pin in it if you would. Put it aside for later. Let's talk about healing. Healing. You are already healed. So when we say we're going to bring through an energy healing, what do we mean? So we're bringing through an energy that matches the healed that you already are. You are already healed. And we are bringing through the frequency that matches this. That reminds you of this. And it's completely up to you whether or not you receive it. And even if you receive it, we are not in any way responsible. We don't take a pat on the back. We don't take accolades for what you do with this energy, for how you integrate this energy, how quickly, how slowly, if at all. Maybe you put it in your back pocket for another lifetime. I asked them how you do this, because you wouldn't have pockets. And they tell me so that everything that that you experience now, some of it you experience and then drop, like a sunflower seed or a peanut. And you eat it, it's digested, and then the shell is gone. And some of it is like a sesame seed, like you would put it in your pocket, or a wildflower seed, that will bloom in another life. So you might take this energy frequency to which we have no attachment, how you utilize it, how you transform and transmute, and how you realize the truth of who you are. We have no timeline for you. We have no expectation, because we know you as the truth of who you are. We know you, we know you, therefore we have no attachment. This is the kind of love we must have for one another, where we have no attachment to someone else's journey, someone else's life and how it unfolds. This is freedom. This is the freedom. You cannot be free while you are trying to hold another down, while you are trying to attach to their journey and their outcomes. And see, we have no attachment to you and your outcomes. We just have love for you because you are us. So how could we not love each other? That's all we have. That's all we are. Because it's all we are. It's all we are. And so you might take this energy and put it in your back pocket. And this is important because this is love. We wish to just like take a side trail here to talk about your relationships and these expectations that you have of each other, because you never know when someone needs to put something in their pocket for later. It is not open and shut. It is open and open further and further, and then so maybe a little bit of a closing and then a reopening and a closing and a reopening, but it is never an opening and a closing. Explain, please. Because you think that of a life and death, like you die and then that's it, right? So even your idea, some of your idea is that you die and then you might have another life, but you kind of have this idea like that you, the identity you, is the one that has the next life. And that there's kind of like a closing, like this chapter is over. And they say, no, it's like death is like a greater expansion. So this is like an opening, and then there's like a greater opening. And then as you perhaps take a form, but not all will do this, not all will take a form, not all will come into human form or other forms, not all will do this. There may be more of an expansion, or a little bit of a they're calling it a contraction or a closing, but they want to add to this. And what they're saying is, it's what they mean by this is there's a density, right, to our human form. They're going to use this as an example. There's a density to this. And so therefore it is this like a little bit of a closing. And why they say closing is because it closes our eyes to the truth of who we are. And so they wish us to reopen to this. You see, there is no finish line. So you may put it in your back pocket for later. So what is healing? Healing is what's happening right now. So they're telling me that as my hand is like this, they're sending out energy, and they have been sending it out. And while I can feel it, I didn't question it, but now they're telling me that they're supporting the message with this healing energy today in this way. So they're telling me to back up again because I get too close to the message and then I start to like insert and they want me to back up. Okay. Healing, anasiat koroso, miena sakarasa takarasa kotoso, the energy of healing, anasakarasa takoroso, anesea karasa is just what you already are, already healed. Anisio koramaya takarasa takasa. You might look in the mirror or look down at your physical body and say, well, I am not healed. Anasakaraso toshkara. Now they're talking specifically about anasakarasa, like you might be in a wheelchair, anasakarasa karasa, or you may have, they're showing it to me like this, I'm not sure why, no legs. You might look in the mirror and say, well, I am not healed. I am very sick. Like cancer. No hair. You may say, I am not healed. And so we say, you see language and ideas, right, about what healing is. And it is not being at peace with the present moment, with what is arising. And I insert. Diane inserts now. Well, how can somebody be at peace with something that is so challenging or they find so hard? We will explain this. Because what is the thing that brings the pain? Yes, the physical body experiences pain. Again and again and again and again in a human experience, the physical body falls down, it trips, it falls, headaches and migraines and aneurysms, stroke, many painful experiences of the physicality. And we do not diminish this at all. Who is the you that experiences this? Because when the small self or the personality self experiences this, it experiences this through the distorted lens, through the pop bottle lens, through what society says, and through an attachment to I am this person. We don't disagree that you are not who you believe you are, and also we do disagree with this. We say, yes, you exist as this body, but the personality self that you believe that you are, has been created like a puppet, like a theater show, like a actor on a stage, like a clay art project, like a volcano art project, science project, that must burst. You see, because You are not the personality self. You are the one that witnesses, observes, perceives, the physical experience. You are the one that perceives the physical pain. As you identify with the body as you, and please, dear one, do not get us wrong, or get this twisted. We are not talking about, we are never talking about a disassociation. That's not the word. And they say it like this, like plach. Like that's not the word. Disassociation, it is a reassociation. It is a re-knowing of the love that you are, of the truth that you are, of the purity that you are, of the peace that you are. And this doesn't come from disassociating with any part of the small self. It comes from reassociating with the truth of who you are and who and what all is. And in this reassociation, the ego, the personality self, begins to dissolve because it is no longer required in the same way. This is like the ego death. When you are so attached to the personality self, death becomes very scary for you. Life becomes very scary for you, and you begin to need to control the outcome. And you spend and expend a lot of energy on this. And it's not necessary because all is taken care of, but our words are not enough. You must experience this. This is why we wish to bring forth a series of meditations, exercises, experiences. We wish to bring through a series of experiences, because some have an idea of meditation and what that is. So we even want to say we can take this away and put it on the shelf also. We'd like to bring through a series of experiences, like daily experiences or daily practices that you may utilize to know the truth of who you are. The time has come. Remember how we have talked about the time? The right time is the right vibe, the right vibration, the right frequency. That time has arrived. And we will be bringing this through. Very soon. You cannot know with an intellectual knowing. This must be known with a realization. When you realize the truth of who you are, you may experience the physical body, you may experience pain without the stories and concepts. Fear of death, that comes along with it. This is not a I need words for this. One minute. This is not necessarily a cure. This is not what the small self thinks of as a happy ending. Because there is no ending. And happy isn't in an emotion. It's who you are. Sinikia, we wish you to know this. And our words will not be enough. Nobody's words will be enough. Your words are not enough to change someone else. Your words are not enough to heal someone else. But what you can do for each other is have this realization. This is the gift. In the realization, in the knowing of who and what you are, even a small bit, even a small taste, you share this with others and they know that it is possible for them. And as you become one with you become one with one, you become one with all. You realize this. Those around you, remember that they can too, and that they are one also. This is what inspires this. For the viewer, this is a surprise and it's just short. For the viewer that asked the question, what do I do about my children? How do I teach presence? When my children, their school and friends and everything else, society teaches them the opposite. How can we do this? How can we teach this? And we say, and this might be controversial for some might not like it, you must be it. The era of teaching, I'm resistant, I'm going to tell you, the era of teaching is coming to a close. And I'm asking about this. Now they're telling me because, I teach different things, yoga, Reiki, other things. And they're telling me that this era of this is coming to an end. And it's not like what we would call tomorrow. But they are saying that as more and more realize the truth of who they are, words are not needed. It is a guidance back home, and this is their message, and this is the experiences that they're talking about that they wish to bring through. Sure, you could call it teaching meditation or teaching mindfulness or teaching something. But instead they say they wish to alongside you, be co-creating, reminding, and co-creating, because sometimes this idea of teacher and student creates a hierarchy, and there is no hierarchy here. So this is coming, this is coming to an end. In many ways, as we've talked about, your educational systems, and also in your religious and spiritual systems as well. In all things. And it isn't that there isn't going to be a sharing of wisdom. It's that sharing of wisdom is going to come from a whole different place, and that different place is from a realized state. And in a realized state, there is equality. And this is how your planet heals. And this is how everything heals, is through this state. And in this state, equality is no longer a question as it is now. Now equality is a question. How are we going to do this? How are we going to create equality? Well, you have never not been equal, but it is the personality self that has chosen inequality as a way of getting more for me. And putting myself, personality self, on a pedestal. And for those that utilize inequality as a way of diminishing yourself. And you might say, well, I am being diminished. And we do not disagree with the fact that there are those populations, those people that are experiencing aggression, experiencing microaggressions, microaggressions, and experiencing poverty, and experiencing violence. We do not disagree with this. But we say, you're rising, your time to rise, and now, and as you though fight, you put your good energy to a fight. We wish to side by side you, be in alignment with you, remind you of the truth of who you are, support this remembrance, not in a way of saying we are higher than you. The only higher that we are is vibrationally, but you are also this high vibration too. We realize you are this. We recognize you as this, and we recognize you as this. And so as we say we support you, we would rather say we side by side, we sit with you in your realization of the truth of who you are. And in this, you will know the actions. You will know the actions that you take. And so you might say, well, the world around me is not changing. And we say, dear one, please do not expend your time, your breath, trying to make others change their minds. The small self changing a small self is like zero changing zero. It is like math equations. It is like small self and small self are still just playing in a small self world. And we support you in the rise. And the rise is from within. And as this strengthens within you, then you are divinely guided in the actions to take. And just your presence makes the difference in the world. There will come a time, there is coming a time, and there will come a time when the need for fighting in this way, on every level, every level, every dimension, every expression, will end, is ending, and is ended. All three of these, all three are true at the same time. You might think of this as like a paradox. We know that we speak many times in ways that seem paradoxal. But all are true. But that's another message. So we wish to support this evolution, this realization. And that All may know themselves as already healed. So that when you experience physical pain, it is an experience that is being observed by the truth of who you are. And it doesn't mean you don't experience a physical pain. Stub the toe. Body feels pain. Body is very tender and vulnerable. In some ways, we say fragile. And what creates the strength to the physical body, you might think is pumping the iron. Some of you might think of it as knowledge is power. And we say knowing is the greatest power. The world leaders, I'm going to say this because it's what they're saying. The world leaders have it wrong. They think they have power, and they do not. The same power that you use to make your bombs, you could use for healing. The same energy that you use to make your weapons, you could use for healing. But because the small self is running amok, all the small cells are running amok. You take this energy source, this energy power, and you use it for control, when you could be using this for the greatest good of all, for the greatest good of all. No te prokoto shi wai owoto payanotor sukoroti piti shimotor shi brakaya. So no tre shi wakto shi awakara soto shinikia pokorisi abakara soto chokoroto so pekiana satikia. It is the mind, that has an idea, that creates a story about the physical body experience, and has emotions and feelings about what is taking place. We're going to use something easy first. It is a rainy day. I dislike the rain. It's so hard. It's so gray. And then you feel sad. Because gray is bad. Is a negative thing. Like weather and snow. But for those that like to ski, snow is a beautiful thing. For those that like to jump in the puddles and dance in the rain, the rain is a beautiful thing. You see, it is the mind that is creating the thoughts and the emotions, and that is the fuel for the fire. The thoughts and the emotions are the fuel for the fire. They create the additional pain on top of the pain, on top of the stubbed toe, on top of the toothache, the headache, that Barb talked about. There is an additional suffering, there is an additional pain. What is the additional pain? It is the thoughts, and it is the wishing to escape from pain, which is a natural wishing. This is a normal, natural thing that humans do. They don't arms wide open. Some might. Arms wide open. Bring it on. Pain, bring it on. Running and screaming with tail between the legs is a human experience of pain. And this is the additional pain, and can create more physical pain, more tightness and contraction. And it is an opening to pain, which seems contrary to what you would think to do due to pain. But pain is here anyway, whether you like it or not. The toe has been stubbed, the tooth hurts. The head aches. Pain is here anyway. So you may do what you like with it. You see, there's many options. And one of the options, ani koroto korosi ane kiana sakara, and this is the option we talk about today. Door number 3, ana sakarasa, like they're showing me like the game show. Ana sakarasa, I take door number 3. Ana siokorame karasa, door number 3. Ana sakarasa, tell her what she's won. Ane tiokorasa ana karasa takarasa, aya kanasota karasa, peace. Ana saya korosota, peace is what you've won. Ana korosota sakarasa, it's not really what you've won, it's what you are. Anasekarasa is what you can realize that you are. You can still feel pain and peace simultaneously. You can still have it simultaneously. And they go back because they say that they went off on the tangent. So they wish to just jump back in. They're showing me to say to the viewer who asked about this, how they could help their children realize presence when the world isn't reflecting that, and they say it is you. Anesia is your example. It is your example. The words are never enough. It is in your example. Be it. We cannot wish for others to be in ways that we are not. And we spend a lot of time wishing for the world to be different than it is, and our experience to be different than it is. And they are also saying, we spend a lot of time wishing for others to be better when we are not. And now they say that, of course, everybody is better, everybody is perfect. What makes it better? This realization, this experience, this is paramount to everything. So we say, you may experience a physical pain, and we also say, please stop fanning the flames. What fans the flames? What fans the flames is the fuel. What's the fuel for this fire? Thoughts and emotions and ideas and resistance to what is, creates more tension in the physical body, and creates more resistance in the mind, which creates the need to escape it. The need to escape. Everything is built on this. Your whole society is built on escaping. End of the work week, escape. Escape on your vacation. Everything is escape with us. Escape with us. Get out of here. Escape. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to be. There's nothing to be. There's nothing to do. This is the escape. You want out? It's in. That's it. But the going in, isn't, the mindset isn't to escape, it's to know. Know the peace that you are. Because while there can be pain and much sadness, emotional, there is also peace. It is here. And we've said it's not a sugarcoating. It's who you are. Bring it to the table. You talk about like what I'm going to bring to the table in a relationship. You need to bring the best dish ever. you, not ani otro karasara, the personality self, gonna get myself a tuxedo and be fancy. You ani sikurasa, like a tie over your shoulder and a briefcase. Ani yukurasa the kara princess crown. Ini otro karasa, none of these. Ani karasa takara, you are a crowning glory all on your own without all of this. So Barb, we will bring through an energy transmission also, but this is their message about pain. We understand that in the middle of something painful, especially when this has not been practiced, experienced before, realized before, that it might seem very foreign and maybe even impossible to be able to experience or to understand that you actually are not this overwhelming experience, because it might feel so overwhelming and you may not be able to connect with presence, and that's okay. It's okay. So outside of the painful experiences, we begin to have the experience of presence. So that when we are faced with painful experiences, stub the toe, toothache, headache, cancer, painful experiences, and nobody denies them. That you may also bring presence to them. And in presence, the story doesn't spin. The fuel doesn't get added to the fire. Or even if some fuel gets added to the fire, you have a illness that is chronic. Or anasaya tukuraso sinikarasai and the sukuraso acute anasaya tukuraso to sukuraso, or inesia takuraso is going to anasaya tukuraso anasaya karaso toshikarasa you're going to die from it. Sorry, I was having a hard time with their words, and I just was like trying to wondering if they could sugarcoat this for me. So some other words, and they were like, no, because this is the message today. Tikara forever, whoever needs to hear it, this is their message. That there might be because we hate to burst your bubble. There is an inevitable death for you all. And we are just talking specifically about this. There might be an illness that has an inevitable death. And yes, there could be a physical experience as you go through this, physical pain as you go through this. And these are the challenging topics, but we don't run from them, because that's the opposite of our message. Even though Diane might like to run from them, they wouldn't be wrong with that. And I have a comfort level with a lot of things, but and I don't have I have a comfort level with death, but it's bringing through a message when I don't know where it's going, and who it could possibly be offending. You see, I don't have the control of that. Well, they say I could have control if I want to get up and walk away, but I don't. Because they do nothing without me. We do it together. It could be very painful for some that might be going through something very challenging and experiencing a great physical pain. Some that might be facing an inevitable death soon. And what this might be painful all in itself, excuse me, but what fuels more suffering, more pain, are the thoughts and ideas, and the emotions. And we don't say, don't have thoughts. We don't say don't have emotions. We say that when you have a state of realization, when you realize you are the observer of this life. You are the observer of this life is one and the same as source energy. There is no separation. You might say source energy, God, you might say consciousness, whatever you'd like to say. You are this, so you are one with this. You are like a slice of cake. You are a slice of this energy source. Then the thoughts that the personality self has stop. They stop in this state. And if the thoughts come back, you don't try to push the thoughts away. You invite them in, and you bring them good company. You bring them presence. Truth. Who you are, which is good company at your core. Who and what you are, this truth of who you are. You bring this to the situation. And this transmutes the situation. It doesn't mean that you still don't have grief. It doesn't mean that you don't experience pain. It doesn't mean that you don't experience sadness. You just don't add a bucket of fuel to this fire, the hose, gasoline, the tank. You don't wave this around anymore. That's surely going to create flames everywhere. You put that back in. Like a gas station, you put that back in. You stop throwing that around. That's the gasoline. You stop fueling it. But you still feel it, you still experience it, but you know yourself as more than it. And there are many levels. There are many levels. There are many levels to this, because in one state, there are no fluctuations of the mind. None of these things arise. And then if they do arise again, then you meet them with presence. This is the healer. It heals the situation, which is not cure, which is healing, is acceptance, is peace. There's no longer a resistance, and there is a realization of the truth of who you are, which is already healed. From this place, this state, you know. And then there may be an action that is taken. There might be the usefulness of using your intellectual mind to do something, to take an action. But it's no longer using the intellectual mind from fear, from a fear-based state. Like I receive a diagnosis and I Google it. And they're not saying there's anything wrong with it. They're saying when you connect into the truth of who you are, or you realize, another way to say this is when you realize the truth of who and what you are, then you may take an action, but it will be an inspired action. It will be a divine action. It will be a informed action, and it will be informed through the divinity that you are, not through the personality self. And in this way, then you may take an action. You might even do a Google search. We don't say anything about this. We just say, what is the fuel that, or what is the thing that informs your action? When you get up in the morning and you eat your breakfast, what is informing that action? when you eat, how you eat, what you eat, what's informing that? Is it the divine as you, the divine that is you, anasikirasa, or is it society? Is it a pattern of loop? Anasikira, the rat wheel, anasayakirasa, what informs it? Anasikira, it's just a question. Anikinasakirasa, where are you getting your information? Anisiyakirasa, inikinasakirasa, there's a difference. Then you may take an action, and it will be based upon inisikirasa, this information, anisikirasa, this divine anisikirasa information, rather than anisiyakirasa, this information, which is always distorted. Ianakisikirasa, when it is being this information is being distorted, when it is through the small self perspective. When can the intellect not be distorted? When the intellect is being utilized, when you are in a realized state, in one way, in a realized state, there is no need for this intellect. Like we said, there's many levels. In another way, you may have a realization of this, and this presence, and be informed that you are going to use your intellect to do something, like drive your car, cross the road, but in one other level, in one other manifestation, you won't need to do this at all. But for now, in this physical form, at this time, we say it like this, you might need to use your intellect also. But the intellect is being informed through divinity and not through the story and society beliefs and everything else. See, we do not wish to make anything right or wrong. And the small self, or the personality self, wishes for this. And we say, if it feels like a paradox, if it feels like a conundrum, if it feels like, well, this just can't be so, then we say, you're right, through the intellect. We understand how it can't be so, and this is why we wish you to know this, then you know that it is so. And anything that you wish to know, there is no confusion here for you. You do not need to fight amongst yourselves about what is right and what is wrong. You will never harm another. Not an ant, nothing. Not even the smallest creature. There is no need. So you bring to every situation this you, this version of you. It is not like you're going to create a whole new you. Is like you're going to flourish who you already are, what you already are. And that shines through your physical form. The toe still stubs. The pain still is here. For this time. Because at another time, the physical form is changing, your human body is changing, and the way you experience like life and everything, including pain, it will be gone. Is very different. But for now, dear one, like this, presence transmutes the pain. This is the healing. It is the peace that arises from not resisting. And then you may take an inspired action rather than a fear-based action. Okay, and I'm just going to check in here with them and see if there's anything else before they bring through this energy transmission that they want to bring through. Sia paya kora seya tayashini awakara sota kare brekete show. We're going to bring through the transmission now, the energy transmission. I will timestamp this for you in case you want to come back to this as a standalone. And then they're going to talk again. Okay, Anasia Karaso energy transmission time. Let's see what they say. Hasakari atakursopi karasakada sayu. Asayu. Dear ones, we bring through now with your agreement and your alignment and your connection. Your yes, if you would, your intention, if you like. We bring through now this vibrational frequency of healing. It is not outside of you. It is not separate from you, and when we say we bring it, it's not like we bring something, they're showing it to me like this, like a platter, you lift it up like surprise, look what I brought you, it's not like this, it's like this, like we said before, it is the song that you hear, and you turn your head and you say, oh, I forgot about that song. I love that song. And you dance. And you it's like this. And so you realize who you are. All we do is merge with what is already inside of you. We don't bring healing to you. We match what is already yours. We don't heal you. You agree to, with your intention, expand what you already are. What you already are is healed. And you expand what is already you. And healing is who you are. It's not healed is what you are. This energy is this energy of truth, the truth of who you are. Is perfect, is pure, is healed, if you like. And we just use this word today because this is the message around the request. The truth, the energy, we're going to call it truth. You could call it consciousness, you could call it source, God, whatever you like. It is already you. You are just agreeing to expand what you already are. And in it, we just turn up the volume of the song that's already playing. You had it on low, and we turn it up with your agreement. You could turn your back and walk away, but when you don't, then you can hear it. And with an internal hearing, and an internal knowing. And so we bring this. And Barb asked specifically, she said headache, toothache, or pain in general. And so the guides are saying that this is any pain, period, whether it is physical or emotional pain, all the same. And you create the intention to move beyond the labels of headache pain, tooth pain, emotional pain, whatever the pain is. You agree to move beyond the labels and to know the truth of who you are and who and what you are, and expand what is already you. And when they say know the truth of who you are, it is a realization. So not like you pick up your books and your pencils and you study this. This is like no effort. This is like a zero effort. This is just like a pure dropping the labels, dropping the concepts, dropping all the ideas and beliefs, and the willingness to do this and to realize what lies when you drop all this. Is freedom. And they're screaming it now like this, like freedom. freedom. Like this is how they're bringing it through. And it's like I said, that when you just drop it, and they're showing me like a kid at the end of the school year takes a backpack off and throws it on the ground and then just runs for the ice cream truck and a popsicle, and the sprinkler is just like freedom, like this, okay? Because you are free, and this just reminds you that you are free, that you are healed, that there is this. We don't look for what's wrong with you. We know what is right and has always been right with you. What has always been right now, what has always been right on time, what has always been right, big check mark, is you. Okay, you create the intention to expand what is already you. And together, we do this. But really, it's all you. But you are us. So we say together, you see how it's a paradox? It's all you, but at the same time, it's us. Same. Show. Okay. And they're bringing this energy healing through now. So I'm calling it this. And they're calling it energy frequency. And they say you could call it healing. Just as long as I remember that I'm not healing you, and you remember that I'm not healing you, and they're not healing you. You are already healed, and you are just expanding what you already are. And they're bringing this through my hands, but they're also bringing it through my physical body as well. So it's coming through to you, through me, through my entire torso. My entire torso. Willingness to let go of the things, the thoughts and the ideas, the beliefs that fuel the fire, that keep the fire going. The fire is the anatoroko suffering, the additional pain on top of the pain that comes from the story, that comes from running the story, that comes from identification and attachment to story and attachment to outcomes. You do not need to be attached to an outcome, dear one, because this is not an outcome. It already is. It already is done. So there is no outcome, there is no ending. It is an expansion of what you already currently are, which is healed, which is perfect. Perfection. They do like a kissing of the fingers, like mwah. Perfect. Social am I, Nai koto, I koto sho. I koroto sho enikti, I shukurai, why sai, why sai, why sai, why sai. Suaya mai kai koto e ke kia ene wek te shiwaik tai shiwaik te shinikwai. Yek te shokwai. Yek te shokwai. Yek te shokwai sho kiamat koroti apayasutu shu shu. Tiki bereketo sonia makotoshi uktu I a papaso 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 so sukutishia wakata sa ukchia so heavy on your heart ania kara let it go anakia takara sato shukuru. It was never yours to hold. Ania toroko sukti sekara. Ene kanasa bye-bye. Anasaya shakara takarata. That which is heavy on your heart, let it go. It was never yours to hold. Anasaya takara. Bye-bye. Anasaya shakarata. Bye-bye. And see. Ukiyamataya kanasataya shokas. Willingness to expand and know the truth of what you are, anasakarata, and to realize this, anakarasa, and the courage to anayatakarasa tekarasa, let go of, anasakara, the attachments, and be in the unknown. Anisia, the courage to be in the unknown. Anisia kurosota, this is the magic. Ayasakara, the unknown is the magic beyond the intellect. This is the magic. Anatakarasota chikarata, ayasakara pakatisia shukurotota kurotota. Sayana kurosika pakete sikarata kotosokotosoto. Because the truth of who you are cannot be known with an intellect. And therefore it is the unknown, and you are the unknown. You are it. You are the magic. Because the unknown, the truth of who you are, may be known. And in its known, it is not known as anything, as any one thing. It's known as everything. And in this, it is unknown and known. You see the paradox. This is the healer. Anatokorosati iti asi okaite shi akatai sakata. This is the healed. Amakarata shi akara. This is healing. Anisiokuti ashaya karata. This is you. Aniyakatai sokoto shi apakatai seti ashkototo. Ini atakorosoto shiki amakate sikirata kirata kurusubakate shi akata skatabukoto. Brokoto to 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 brokoto to 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 brokoto to 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 brokoto brokoto to to brokoto to to brokoto to to brokoto brokoto Asatishi Lasha. Lasha why? Lasha why side? And they're descending directly now from my heart to yours. Anakarasaya takoroso, one heart. Anisia takoroso. One. Anatai sakarasa. And so it is done. Anisia paye sokoro. So it is. Inia sakarasa. And they're thanking me, and they're thanking you, Anasia Koroso, for your willingness. Anasa, they know it's not always easy. Anasaya Tasanakara, for all of us. Anakira to keep showing up. Anasikara to keep stepping back. Anasa to keep letting go. Anasia Tasanakara, so that we may know. So we may know. Anasaya Takanasa. And this is just like a little like clearing. Anasaya takurasa, anasakarasa. They told me I could say it like pixie dust if you would. Sakara, like a magic sprinkling if you like. Anasa takurasa, so beautiful. Anasakarasa, tashakarasa, anasakarasa. They show it to me like this, like poof, like something that like psh, like with a like a like sparkles, and it goes everywhere. They show it to me like a Christmas cracker. I don't know if you know what this is. Where you, it's like an oblong paper thing, and you pull both of the ends at Christmas time. And, well, people might do it outside of Christmas, I'm not sure. That's just when I've done it. And you put on the paper hat, and there's like a toy inside. It's like this, but when you pop it, it's like sparkles everywhere. And that's the magic. That's who you are. It's like you're the magic inside. Inside this, it's like in a physical form. You're the magic inside this. You are the animator of this. The life force of this. The consciousness of this. You're the magic. Okay. Let's see. Love. Love, love, love. Love. We are love. Okay. So, Hanaya Torokose Makarasaya Karasaya Tokorosai Sai 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 Show. And they've said this before and they say it again. Anasiya Karasaya Takarasa. Be free. Anasaya Tayasaya Karasa. What does that mean? Anasakara, just be. Anasakara, just be. Be as you be, and you will be free. Anasiya Torokose Bakarasa Takarasa Tasakarasa. Anasikarasa, and then your doing will be divinely informed, and your doing in this world will be very different. Anasiyo torokoso, because it will be informed through your being. Anasakarasa, so be, dear one. Anasakarasa, and be free. Anasiyo toroko, tokoro, so, koro. Okay, so thank you so much for, wow, sharing in this experience. I thank you so much, Barb and Rachel, for your questions. Hopefully they were answered today. If you have questions for the guides, please feel free to put them in the comments box. They answer them as they answer them. And like today, they answered a question somewhere at some point that wasn't even something that I knew was going to come through, but they brought that through as well. And they might expand on that in another message as well. I never know. And I never know what to call these messages. You know, when I make the description in the thumbnail, I never know what to call this message because it's a whole thing. Maybe I should call this message, it's just a whole thing, because you know what? I don't know. They talk about so many different things. I never know what to call this message. And then now they're telling me it doesn't matter what I call it. They have no attachment to the name of the message. And when they want the message to be named something specific, they tell me. Like in the book, they want certain things called, certain chapters called different things and certain messages called different things. Then they tell me. If they want something specific, they'll tell me. They have no attachment to this, what we call this message today. Okay, so thank you so much for sharing in this experience with me as always. And you know, if you made it to the end of this message with me, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I'm just so grateful for you and for you showing up and being here and sharing this with me, and for your feedback and for your requests to the guides. And like I said, they get to it when they get to it. And sometimes that takes a little bit of time. But I'm writing down everybody's messages that has requests now so that I can easily look at it and ask the guides what we're doing today. So yeah, we'll get to your requests whenever the guides get to them. And they always say it's in the right time. So if you asked first, it might not come in the time that you asked. So if you asked before someone else, they don't do it like that. They just do it how they do it. So I'll bring it as they ask me to bring it. And yeah, that's how we'll bring it through. So thank you so much for sharing in this experience with me. I appreciate you and I appreciate your comments. And when I comment back to you, you know, sometimes I feel like, you know, just typing in a box is not conveying how much I deeply appreciate you and how much I really, when I say like, thank you so much for connecting, I really mean that deeply. Thank you so much for connecting. Thank you so much for taking your time to put a comment in the comments box, for taking your time to share however this message from the guides, you know, helped you, or whatever experience you had with it. I appreciate that. And for those that connect in person, some have come in person for a session or connect online. I've met people all around the world, everywhere. It's so I'm so grateful to meet all of you around the world, to do sessions with the guides in person or on Zoom. It's been amazing. So I want to take this moment of just gratitude for you. Thank you so much. Because when I first started this, I just felt like I'm alone out here with this video camera, out of my element, technology. It's a whole thing. And as people have found these videos and commented, it's created like a little bit of community for me, and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for any way that you connect with me or with each other through these transmissions. Yeah, I really appreciate it. So thank you. So as always, I always say I'm sending you so much love, but we, the guides and I, are sending you so much love. Thank you.